Welcome, punters, to another episode of Whispers Racing Podcast, Vobis Day at Caulfield. As we can see, Matty's joined us from his MIA. How are you, Matty?
Going well, Worm. Did I miss much last week?
Um, yeah, you might have missed just a couple of winners, mate. We bet
I,
into.
I, sh- I should ask. Did you miss me?
Oh, you weren't on last week?
Oh, I know I tipped Clemenceau. Did you pass that on to the punters?
Yeah, I've made it the pineapple, courtesy of you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but
Good.
I don't think we'll go through the tapes because I don't know if I dropped your name or not.
How did you feel last week, Worm?
Yeah, 4 from 4. We went to sale on Good Friday, and it was very Good Friday. Won by 4.5, paying 270. And then we went to Caulfield Race 1, and we found a $12 winner. Beautiful ride by Willow. Then we went to the Pineapple. We $1.70. Yeah, a few scratchings killed us, but we'll take it. And then we thought we'd just round it out on a Monday at the jumps at Pakenham, and yeah, the jockey, made us earn it at about $4, I think it was.
Uh, what a good way to spend an Easter weekend. 4 out of 4. Well played.
Yeah, no, I was very happy. Saw him well, and I think we're going to see him even better this weekend. Fingers crossed.
I'll try and make sure you stay in form.
That's the idea. Punters, this episode is brought to you by Wishbet. Check them out at wishbet.com.au or download the app in the Apple or your Android store. Matty and I both use them, punters, so if you're looking for a new bookie, please check them out. And Matty and I thank them for their ongoing support. We were kicked to Pineapple a week last week, which we mentioned. Clemenceau, $1.70 has been a podcast favourite. I hope it goes to Brisbane. I think he's a nice horse. I think it was just a nice little pipe opener and a ratings booster for it. Well done to Nick, who had it as one of my subs as Pineapple of the Week, courtesy of Wishbet. That's 2 in a row, thanks to me. I'll blow my own trumpet again. Our lucky contestant is Seb, so good luck, Seb, and stay tuned. Well,
Bank it, Seth. Bank it.
hope so. Let's not use that M word. It's banned on this podcast. Track stats for rail 6 metres at Caulfield. I'm like a broken record here. Rail 6 metres, we'll look for horses on speed. Not going to say much more than look for horses on speed. But if you want to go worse than, I'd go no worse than midfield at Caulfield. But that's just me.
Are they going to water the track?
I think they've had plenty of water this week, which is good because it could play that touch even. It could, which I don't
Fingers
mind.
crossed.
Yeah, that's right. Fingers crossed. Um, Buying shares in and cash out, I've got nothing, but I'm really glad to see Willow riding trebles and doubles. And it's good to see that Willow is back in form. Matty, you got anything to add?
Oh, one that should have been in a long time ago. We mentioned it in our very first podcast that won last week for the Pineapple Clemenceau. Needs to go into the podcasts portfolio. So, as you said, I think there is an opportunity for it to get to much better races, and we will be following it.
Yeah, he's almost in legend status for us. So he might stay in the portfolio no matter what he does going forward. All right, I will kick things off. We're going to preview race 2 at Caulfield here. Odds courtesy of Wishbet. We've got the favourite Cirillo Miss, $1.95. You can get $2 and others. Number 2 Star Rel, $5. Number 5 Comica, $5.50. Number 11 Blistering, $6.50. And then we got $14 the rest. Something that poked stood out for me, and especially on this day. Have a look at the handicap race ratings in this race. Cirillo Miss and Star L, numbers 1 and 2, are both 90-ish handicap raters. Then they drop away quickly to rating 70s and 60 rated horses towards the bottom of the field. Even look at other races because they're quite more obvious. It is a day that might shoot quite straight, so be wary. Don't go looking too far into the bottom ones, but be careful because there's been a few races in the past. I think Pippi got beaten at like $1.50. Mr. Quickie got beaten at $1.70. So they're horses that were past their grand final and wanted that extra boost in their bank account, and they just went one run too far. But I think we've found horses today that will be winning and aim for these days. So race two, we'll get back to that. Um, when assessing the race, I wanted to find a horse that won't have 60 rated horses in front of it and has taken bad luck out of the equation in running. In saying that, I've found and happy to have a bet on is number one Sorello Miss. Yes, it's short, but third up now should be at peak fitness, and I reckon it's aimed for this race. Barrier 11, Ollie on board is no concern for me because they only have one option, and that's to roll forward like they did last start and sit outside Brazen Song. Last start, dead heated with Foxy Frida, and that looks like a good form race for me moving forward at Bendigo. The danger is number two, Star Rail. It's coming off some hot races last prep against Zaydani, Flying Mascot, Holbein, who ran a massive race last start. But barrier one, it could be stuck on the rail and stuck behind horrible horses, and it's only first up. Couldn't find any jump outs for this horse, let alone I can't find any jump outs for Danny O'Brien horses. Keep an eye on the market for these horses, this horse and other horses, because that will tell you the story of how they've gone in their jump outs. Not going to talk about any other horses as they are all roadblocks in my eyes. So $2.10, I suggest you take it now, $2, because it could start at $1.70. Matty, anything to add?
We'll keep that one short and sharp. I think you've identified the two in the field, and as you mentioned, take the $2. I don't think we'll be getting that on Saturday.
Nah, definitely not. Um, Wishbet promo time. We're going to go with a footy promo this week. Friday night special. Max King to kick 2 goals and St Kilda to win. Wishbet are offering $3. So if you like that combo, head over to Wishbet and snap up that promo because that looks like a good bet for Friday night.
Who are the Saints got?
GWS in Canberra.
Okay, so well, it might be snowing.
Yeah, it could be snowing for other reasons too. Uh, race 6, Caulfield. I'm going to preview this of coming off a zinger. Odds are courtesy of Wishbet. We will go with number one is the favourite at $2.50, Biello Bow. Number two, Sir Bailey, $5. Number 9, Hallelujah, $7.50. Number 5, $12. Don't change, and 15 plus for the rest. Yeah, this race, I'm happy to have something on number 1 here, Biello Bow. Last start was totally luckless. Wasn't the jockey's fault. A lot of people saying it was, but I don't reckon it was. Horse normally leads and pings the gate. The pace looked hot early, so he took a sit, which is quite understandable. Went corner and he was following a horse that would have taken him into the race 9 times out of 10, but the sniper got him on the corner. He dropped right out, and then he just saw rear ends for the rest of the day until the last 100 metres. He got out and hit the line well considering. Barrier 8, if he pings the gates, he should find the lead quite easy as there's no pace on his inside. Of the other runners, I'm not really keen to have any horses out of that Bendigo 2-year-old race. I just think it's quite yuck. It was a bunch finish. They didn't rate too well, but I did find one in that race. I'm probably contradicting myself here, but I did find one that, and I'm happy to have a saver on it, is number 6, Rue de Palais. I probably butchered it at $23. Totally luckless. Did a lot wrong, the horse. Blinkers go on, which I like to see. And just if you watch the last 400, I don't know if it didn't like the whip in that certain hand because he laid straight in, and jockey had to do a lot of work to straighten him up. And yeah, he hit the line well. But at $23, I'm happy to have something on. From barrier 14, wouldn't surprise me if they roll forward here. McAvoy likes to put his horses on speed and John Allen on board. But it is a shoot race, so you can probably just take a nice sit and, yeah, just think at $23. Yeah, as I said, don't want to follow anything out of that Bendigo race. It was just yuck. But I feel Rue de Police is a total forgive, and at 23s, I'm happy to have a little saver on it. Matty, anything to add?
Uh, One that I do see improving is Sir Bailey. Its last two starts have been somewhat disappointing, but I think this is a much weaker field. So, any thoughts on it?
Yeah, it is definitely one of the dangers. Car on board, barrier four, so I don't think they're going to be quite negative. Um, yeah, I was on it first start at Pakenham. Can't believe it got rolled. And then, of course, they win next start when they don't win for me. But yeah, she should put it in a nice spot. It's my only concern is this an afterthought? It is a $1 million race. Yeah, that's my only concern that it's as it had enough after the Mooney Valley run. Fifth up this prep. Yeah, more negatives than positives for me, but I wouldn't be riding off J Car.
No, as you said, it's an important point. Has it been set for the race, or is it a bit of an afterthought?
Yeah, and you could say that about Biello Bow as well, but he's had a few little breaks in between Feb and March, so yeah, very low rating race, but I think I've found the winner. All right, listeners, if you're listening, if you're watching us via YouTube or listening via your podcast platform, please subscribe to our channels and you'll receive these episodes as they drop. Please share these episodes with your friends or family, retweet them on Twitter, however well you can help us. We really appreciate your help. So please, punters, help us out as we help you out. Race 7, Matty, you want to have a look at this race?
Yeah, we'll have a look at race seven. Worm, have you got the odds handy?
I do, courtesy of Wishbet. We have Spots That, $2.80. Number 1, Astrologist, $4.60. Number 5, Lombardo, $6.50. Number 2, Shelby, 66. Number 10, Typhoon Harmony, $7. Probably didn't read out Shelby 66 price, which was $7. And Regards Marie, $14. And the rest are $19 plus.
Shelby 66 at $7. Good.
Mm,
Just do it for a third time. Uh, Mate, a few things here. One that we mentioned earlier before this was the pace in this race. It's going to be really interesting to see where it comes from. I think there's a few that can push forward, like Typhoon Harmony, Serious Suspect, The Astrologist, and even King of Hastings out wide. I think Zara's on board. It might push across, but I don't necessarily see a whole lot of speed within this race. So it'll be interesting to see where that does come from. And the other point I found out of this race is there is a horse, Swats That, who has not had an easy kill. And is this the race for it to have that easy kill? So a couple of things that took my fancy in this. Now, four horses that I concentrated on. Paul's Regret, I'll be included in the multiples. It's going to get back. Hasn't missed the placings from being first up. So it will get back. It'll run home strongly, but as we mentioned, we're definitely going to be looking for runners further up the field. Lombardo, fourth up this prep. Didn't look to be in the best part of the track last start at Sale. 1200 will definitely suit. The track shouldn't be an issue. Look, I'm basing this on being a soft six. As long as it doesn't get any worse than that, I don't see this track being an issue for it. Typhoon Harmony. Now it's an interesting one. It doesn't generally run a bad race. It it did get just overpowered in the last 50 metres last start by Jump the Broom at Mornington. So after this, it'll be at second start at 1200. It will be looking for further, but second up, I feel like it'll be fitter across the 1200 metres. Look, it maps exceptionally well within this race coming from barrier number 4. So I think it'll be able to probably, if not sit on the rail, probably sit one off and get a really nice toe into this race. And what it can do and what I like about this horse is it can sustain a long run. So across the 1200 metres, it's going to be in it right at the finish. Now, Lombardo and Typhoon Harmony, they are the only two horses that I see within this race that can get close to Swat's that. Now, it is a serious racehorse who has not been in a bad race. It meets this field 2 to 5 kilos better, and it has not had the opportunity for a soft kill. This could be its opportunity. Now, forget the new market, like a lot of horses. It was a messy run race, so that will be a forget run for me. If you go back to last spring, ran second to Nature Strip. Now, in that race, there was high tempo, and that's what I do see this horse needing. In some of its earlier starts, it had the pace set at a genuine tempo in a few of those races by Bella Nipotina. That is my only concern with Swats that within this race. 107 rating horse at 55 kilos. As I mentioned, 2 to 5 kilos better than everyone else within this field. So 270, 280 at the moment. That will be enough to dim those concerns about the tempo within this race. I do feel it's going to be it's going to be in a position where it'll get a toe from midfield, um, and as it straightens, should be too quick for the rest of this field. So Worm, Swats that one slight concern, but at the 270, 280, I don't think we won't get that on Saturday, will we?
Nah, mate. I think we're close to $2 once the big boys come to play.
Yep. Yeah. Look, as long as D Oliver finds a nice bit of cover, and then from there can wheel out without too much of a hindrance, I can't see it being beaten.
I am totally in your corner with it. Had a jump out since its Newmarket run, and yeah, it was under a stranglehold. A jockey couldn't hold it back anymore, or they would have been calling the RSPCA on it. Um, it was a good jump out. Looks like it's ready to rock and roll. Yeah, I'll be keen to have a good play at that. One thing I did notice, and I'm still trying to work it out. Why the hell has Shelby 66 come down here after its 5 runs on a heavy track and now it gets a good track? Like last start told us it had enough.
Look, in their defence, it did pull up lane, so I understand that, but it's not like we're going to get 30 mil of rain for it to swim.
Nah, lame 3 out of 5, so it's a serious lame it had. So I don't know. It's just dumbfounding, and at those price at $7, I reckon you can lay it the win and place. I know there's going to be a lot of lovers for this horse and going to hate us for what we've just said, but this is a punting show, and I'm happy to take him on. One thing I did pick up, and I didn't know you were going to mention. I thought I was going to keep this one for myself, but Paul's Regret. You mentioned it, and I'm going to back you up on it. It's had 2 jump outs, and I marked them as an A, and that is me saying it's ready to rock and roll. And I marked it down, ready to go to Warrnambool. And when I saw it, except for here, I'm like, oh, no, not this race. So he's definitely, I reckon he can run a drum at the price that he is. I don't even know. Paul's Regret, he's currently at $41 with Wishbet. He could be the one for your multiples, 1 by 3 play, I reckon, if you like it, punters. But yeah, he's jumped out super, and I reckon barrier 11 is a bit sticky. So if you can be patient enough, he might be at Warrnambool in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, it might not be this start for it, but first up, as I mentioned, hasn't missed a placing, so I can definitely see it running home very strongly. It's just gonna this start first up, it'll be another trial for it, but yeah, again, always seems to be ready to go first up. The other one, and again, I know I mentioned it, but Typhoon Harmony, it might not be this start, but it's definitely one that I've popped into the black book for next start.
Yep, agree. It's just second up, so I can't back horses on second up. It's a golden rule for me that, yeah, I sometimes break it and I pay the price for breaking it. All right, we're going to go around the grounds here, guys, or just a few extra little bets at the around Caulfield. Or so I'll kick things off with race 3, Caulfield, number 7, Air Clash. Yes, that's right. It's 100 to 1 punters. You might call me crazy. You can throw hate at me all you want, but this is why I'm going to be having something on. Its 2 runs this prep have been just sitting too far back, just due to the poor barriers. And I don't think he's a horse that has a sharp turn of foot to be doing that. Barrier 3 now, you can sit a lot closer and give us a chance of running a place. I reckon its form from last prep reads well. This is basically a benchmark 64 race, and there's no real outstanding benchmark 64 horse. Um, have a small play on this each way, and we'll find out. I reckon he's going to give us a yell. Definitely the place, more the place, because at $120 the place, I ain't letting this go around without having something on. Also on the race is Don Diego. I backed it for the subs at Sandown. He just got too far back, and today he gets barrier 12. D Lane, he normally likes to roll forward on his horses, put him in a positive spot. He does scare me, but I reckon they'll just go back because he'll be slowly out and be rocketing down the outside, and he'll be in your black bookers after this run. I reckon he's a good horse in the making this. That's if Hong Kong don't pinch him. Matty, do you like anything?
Mate, we'll be going up to Royal Randwick now. Race 7, there isn't one at odds on that I do think will be winning, and that's Animat. It's a very impressive horse, and I can see it improving this start. So, look, the $1.90, $2 you can get with some bookmakers. I I think that is a good bet. But the one I don't mind within the same race, and it's one that we have back before on the podcast, is Dragonstone at place 250. Quite happy to take the 250 Dragonstone at place within that same race. And I'll also be having a Quinella between the two of them.
Yeah, we backed it on New Year's Day at Kensington. Tyler Schiller was on that day, and we get Tyler Schiller again.
We do, Mitsubishi, but that's all right.
Yeah. No, it looks a nice bet at $9.50, as you said, Andermatt. Probably hard to beat, but yeah, don't mind that at all.
Yes, no.
We'll go to race 8, Morpherville, for my other one, and that's number 5, Manhattan Times. Been some horrible tactics on this horse. Just gets taken back to the rear most of the times. Now gets barrier 1. Surely they use this. Big race day. Use it. Roll forward. Sit behind the leaders. I don't care, but just put it in a positive spot. Last start it was against the older horses on Labor Day, Adelaide Cup Day, and it was beaten by Ironclad. If it didn't lay in, it would have beaten Ironclad. So watch it on the replay. Has a good turn of foot, this one. If he can sit closer, I feel $8 is overs, and he's a really good bet in race 8. You got another one, Matty, or is that it for you?
No, that's it, mate.
Okay. Multi-time. After a long discussion here, we've taken things in, put things out, taken in, taken out, but this is what we've landed on. We've gone Port Adelaide to win, but it's at the line.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Yep, we're
Keep
going to
going.
take Port Adelaide at the line minus 19 points against West Coast. I feel there's a lot of, after what I saw after half time on Sunday, there is improvement there. And what I saw of West Coast last week, fuck me, they were bad. Also, we will put Sorello Miss in at the win. That's race 2, Caulfield. And Matty wants to put in Sydney, race 7, Dragonstone, the place. So that 3-leg multi comes to $8.90, courtesy of Wishbet. And we'll be having something on that. Pineapple of the week, going for 3 in a row. We're going to go with Cirillo Miss. As I said earlier, class above most of the field. Barrier 11. Ollie should take us straight to the outside of the leader and be hard to run down. no more to say because it will be winning. Matty, your best bet? Have you got one?
Uh, it will be race 7. We will be on Swat's that now. Seb has just messaged me and asked if we can multi those two up. Is that an option for the pineapple?
um, look, we can't get greedy. It's been 2 in a row after a long of outs. I actually did consider it, but let's just get some money in for the kitty and have one of my subs happy, and off he can try and double it and triple it with Wishbet,
Very good.
but also gamble responsibly. But yeah, that's end of the show. You got anything else to add, Matty?
No, mate. But Carlton, we do play teams into form in the second half. However, we do make sure that we snag those 4 points. So I'm good to see that we've got to put Adelaide within our multi, even though they might be losing.
No, hands down, you were pretty good in that first 2 quarters. I was very impressed, and I've never been so quiet at the footy in a half of football.
Eddie, you reckon the Echuca Hotel was going in that second half?
Yeah, it was interesting. Watch that second half.
Yes. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm still shattered. We got beaten. But it's our own fault. Carlton too good. But anyway, thank you for listening, everyone. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Hope you back plenty of winners and fill your pockets up. Yeah, not much more to add there. I've been thrown by Matty ripping through me about Port Adelaide. So you can all go get stuffed and have a great weekend. See you, punters.